A land filled with names and memories. Long after the great stories of creation, flood, and covenant had shaped the world, the tale of Genesis chapter 36 turns its gaze to Esau, the brother of Jacob. This chapter does not thunder with miracles or burning visions. Instead, it unfolds like an ancient tapestry, woven from names, journeys, marriages, and generations. Yet when told as a story, it becomes a living chronicle of how a people and a land came into being. Esau, also known as Edom, stood at the edge of history like a red mountain against the sky. His life echoed through valleys and deserts, and from him arose tribes, chiefs, and kings whose footsteps marked the land of Seir. Esau, the man of the open country. Esau had always been a man of the wild. While his brother Jacob dwelled among tents, Esau roamed hills and hunted under the open sky. Over time, Esau took wives from the peoples around him, women from Canaan and beyond. Their names became part of his story, and through them, sons were born who would shape the future. His household grew large and heavy with possessions. Herds grazed across wide lands, servants moved between camps, and the earth itself seemed too small to hold both Esau and Jacob. So Esau turned his face toward the rugged land of Seir, a region of red rock and echoing canyons, and there he settled. From that moment on, Esau was no longer just a man. He became Edom, the father of a nation. Sons like branches of a growing tree. In Seir, Esau's family spread like branches from a strong trunk. His sons rose to prominence, each becoming a leader among his people. Their names rang out like drumbeats across the land: Eliphaz, Ruel, Jush, Jalam, and Korah. From these sons came grandsons, and from them came clans. Chiefs emerged, each ruling a portion of land, each guarding wells, pastures, and mountain paths. Their authority was not written in books but carved into memory, sung in stories, and marked by the boundaries of their tents. The land of Edom became a mosaic of tribes, each bound by blood to Esau and by destiny to the land they claimed. The ancient lords of Seir. Before Esau's descendants ruled the land fully, Seir was already home to the Horites, ancient inhabitants who lived among caves and rocky strongholds. Their leaders had governed the land long before Esau arrived. Genesis 36 pauses to name them, preserving their memory like footprints in stone. These were the people Esau's descendants would live among, intermarry with, and eventually rule over. The land itself seemed to remember them, whispering their names through cliffs and ravines. This meeting of peoples was not sudden or violent in the telling. It was gradual, like one melody blending into another, until a new song defined the land. Kings before kings in Israel. Then the story takes a surprising turn. Long before Israel would ever crown a king, Edom already had rulers. One after another, kings rose to power, each reigning for a time, each remembered by name and place. They did not inherit their crowns from fathers. Instead, each king emerged from among the people, ruled, and passed away, leaving room for another. Their reigns marked eras, like layers of earth beneath the feet of history. This detail stands quietly but powerfully, reminding the listener that God's unfolding plan included many nations, each with its own time, structure, and destiny. A land fully claimed. By the end of the chapter, Edom stands fully formed. Chiefs govern clans, kings have ruled cities, and the descendants of Esau fill the land of Seir. What began with one man walking away from his brother has become a nation rooted in stone and dust. The land breathes with life. You can almost hear the wind across the mountains, the bells of grazing animals, and the voices of chiefs calling their people together. Names once spoken by a father are now carried by generations. Explanation and lessons. Genesis chapter 36 may appear at first glance to be only a list of names, but in truth it is a story of fulfillment, movement, and divine faithfulness. God had promised Abraham that nations would come from him, and here that promise unfolds not only through Jacob, but also through Esau. Even the brother who stood outside the chosen line was not forgotten. This chapter teaches that history matters, that names matter, and that God works through ordinary processes such as families, migrations, and leadership. It shows that God's plans are larger than a single people and that every nation has a place within His design. One key lesson is that blessing does not always look the same. Jacob received the covenant promise, but Esau received land, power, and legacy. Another lesson is patience. Generations pass before a people fully becomes what it is meant to be. Finally, Genesis 36 reminds us that God's work often unfolds quietly. Not every chapter of life is filled with dramatic miracles. Some chapters are about roots growing deep, about names remembered, and about a future being shaped slowly, steadily, and faithfully.